Back, you're watching NTV tonight. President William Ruto's remarks in Doha, Qatar, have reignited debate over Kenya's power situation. The Ministry of Energy now says that part of President Ruto's remarks on load shedding have been misinterpreted to mean Kenyans in different parts of the country experience load shedding every day for several hours. Here's NTV's Liz Mutinda with what we know.
In a clip that has been widely shared, President William Ruto admits to a gathering in Doha, Qatar, that Kenya is unable to meet the high demand for power.
Today, in Kenya, jioni between 5 and 10 p.m., we have to do load shedding. We have to shut off some areas.
But Energy Principal Secretary Alex Wachira insists the remarks have been blown out of proportion, saying that the country isn't experiencing the kind of daily blackouts the many assumed.
Part of the convocation that the president did give was taken out of context. Load shedding is not an everyday affair. From where I sit, Kenyans should not worry. They should not worry that we are going to be load shedding. And secondly, to your question, we don't have targeted areas. Because it doesn't happen daily. It happens occasionally. Like I think 2-3 weeks, we had 2 incidences where we load shed when we were having heavy rains. That time we were not having adequate generation in terms of wind. So that those 2-3 days, and the other 2 days we didn't have Ethiopia in. So we also load shed.
Over the years, Kenya has grappled with major power outages and sporadic blackouts that strike without warning, at times plunging entire neighborhoods into darkness. PS Wachira insists this differs from load shedding.
The difference between a blackout and load shedding is you let go of a few customers, a few feeders, to ensure that you balance the load between the load and the generation. Because sometimes you may have incidences where if you have a plant that is out, you may have a generation that is not meeting your load requirements. And so therefore, you are forced to let go of some customers because if you insist on having them on the grid, it can easily cause the grid to have instability and it may lead to a national outage. So to prevent that, you do what you call load shedding. So you let go of some feeders, then after the load balances, then you bring the customers back. Mostly 2-3 hours. 2-3 hours, the demand is back. The generation, as the country goes to sleep, the demand slows down, and so therefore you're able to meet the demand. So it doesn't last for long.
Over the past year, Kenya has increased its electricity imports from Ethiopia and Uganda, a figure expected to rise further next year when the country begins importing an additional 200 megawatts from Ethiopia, bringing the total to 400 megawatts. Speaking to NTV on the phone, Joy Brenda, the chairperson of the board of directors for Kenya Power, noted that while wind and solar are valuable renewable technologies, their generation can be unpredictable given that they depend entirely on natural conditions, and that President Ruto was speaking in context to investors hoping to interest them to invest in the energy sector.
We do have issues with supply to a level where some plants are down, some are undergoing maintenance, and we don't have enough what we call spinning reserve. There's not much headroom. So you'd find in a week, you'd load shed maybe once or twice. It's not every single day, but you'd find that more often than not, one would have a blackout and it's not a fault in the line. It's actually a question of load shedding.
According to the PS, Kenya currently has a farm capacity of 2,342 megawatts against a peak demand of 2,392 megawatts. Lilis Mutinda, NTV.
Joy Brenda Mdiva is the chairperson of the Kenya Power and Lightning Company board. Now, in a movement